Are you a copycat? I sure hope so. Grab your supplies and let's decorate this adorable kitten crayon. Hi, I'm Leslie with Leslie's Cookies and Treats, and if you love decorating sugar cookies or you want to learn how, you're in the right place. Let's decorate together. So this is the first animal we'll be decorating in the Krayon Kidz series. If you missed the tutorial on how to decorate the crayon, the link is in the description, but we're just going to start this out by flooding in the inside of the ears and then taking a dampened paintbrush with all of the water wiped off on a paper towel and just flattening out that icing. If you don't know how to transfer the design to your cookie, I have a video tutorial for that too, and see the link in the description. And then immediately we're going to go ahead and outline and flood in our cat. Go ahead and choose the color of your choice. I'm using a 15-second consistency icing in orange. I had an orange cat when I was growing up. His name was Charlie, and I had him for 22 wonderful years. So I'm just going to go ahead and flood this in. I didn't outline the inside of the ears, but I'm going to go around that section and not flood over the white part that we just painted on with the paintbrush. And once you get it all flooded in, use your scribe to settle it down and shape the icing if you need to. I actually made these cookies for a girlfriend of mine. She's a 4th grade teacher, and she took these to school on her first day and gave them to all of her students. They're perfect for school parties or for any animal lover in your family. So once you've flooded in the main color of your cat, go ahead and take your secondary color and go ahead and outline and flood in the bottom part of the cat's face. My icing here again is about a 15-second consistency, and this is a wet on wet effect, and the two colors will blend together and dry as one solid surface. So just go ahead and flood that in with a generous amount of icing, and then use your scribe to settle this icing down, being careful not to swirl it into the orange icing that we already piped, unless you want it to have kind of a fuzzy look, in which case go ahead and swirl away. And then I set my cookie aside to dry for about 15 to 20 minutes before coming back in and piping in the paws. I'm going to go a little bit over the green crayon and a little bit over the face to make these paws. And you want to make sure that they're nice and full so that we don't get a crater. If your icing consistency is not a 15-second consistency, you might want to pipe a dot and let it dry for a little bit and then over pipe it with another layer of icing so that it doesn't overflow the edges because your icing consistency is too thin. Put a big generous dot of icing here right from the get-go. And once you're done flooding in the paws, make sure you go ahead and use your scribe in an up and down motion to make sure that the icing gets all the way down to the cookie so that as it dries and sinks, you don't have a problem with gravity causing a crater. Then I'm going to grab my white icing and then just touch down on the outside of the cookie and drag a line into the center. I'm going to touch down, lift up with my icing bag. Using even pressure, squeeze a straight line across the cookie and then drop it down in the center. Then I'll come back in with my pink icing, which is also in about a 15-second consistency, and just make a little heart-shaped nose. I'll use my scribe to settle that icing down, and then we can go ahead and make the eyes. I'm using brown icing for my eyes. I'm just going to squeeze 2 little dots here. If you have any peaks when you've stopped squeezing, go ahead and use your scribe to settle those down. And then I'm sorry that you can't see this better, but I'm just making a big ball of icing and then dragging it out to a curved point to make just a little bit of fur at the top of his head. And all that's left is to write Charlie's name on the cookie. I'm using kind of a funky little handwriting font here that looks more like a kid's writing. And then you can set your cookies aside to dry, and they're finished, and they're absolutely adorable. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss a single animal in the Krayon Kidz series. And if you're looking for some monsters, check out the Pencil Pals Back to School set. See you later!